Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is 6:57 p.m. Central Time, US, and Paya Paya in India is saying we are waiting. Paya Paya is waiting for Diego to get live. Here I am. Let me move this camera over a little bit so you don't get blinded by that light. Jacob Myers, good evening, Diego. Sorry, not as lively as some of the other contributors. You're good, Jacob. Just kick back and watch. You don't have to be what you can just watch the show. Okay? Now, folks who don't know me, I'm Diego. I live in the panhandle of Florida, near Pensacola, north of Navarre Beach. And Karina, my beautiful prometida, is from Caracas, Venezuela, and she lives in Bogota, Colombia. She's watching from Bogota. Hey, Karina, hold up mi amor, te amo. And we're in our K1 visa process. Our NOA1 letter is April 18th, 2022. And our NOA letter got dated May 30th, 2023. And Kaiser H, hello, Diego. Do you think USCIS will ever come up with the new edition Form I-134? Well, whenever they get around to it. It's still showing the expired edition. Keep using it. You can use that form. Now we are almost approaching the middle of August. Okay, it's not your problem. It's not my problem. Karina, hola mi amor, te amo. Karina is blowing kisses to me. She says hello to everybody. Kaiser H, don't worry about the form I-134. Use the one that immigration says to use. If it's expired, that's their problem. That's not my problem. It's not your problem. Okay? Pete B. Oh, super chat. Mountain Dew. Pete B. You must know. Look, right, I'm getting Mountain Dew. I went to Walmart today and got some more. Thank you, Pete B. Much appreciated. Liz B. Hi, Diego and Karina. Jeff Mantalk. Hello, Diego. Let's see. Kaiser H. Relax on the I-134. Just relax. You're good. Let's see. Paya Paya, India. Where is Diego? Sir. Diego, I'm in Florida. In the panhandle of Florida, in the United States of America. And it's hot. And my AC broke. So I finally called the AC guy's going to be here Friday. There's like so many, I guess everybody's AC broke in the neighborhood at the same time as mine because they're busy. So I got to wait for the AC guy. I got to wait for the K1 visa. It's all about waiting. Be patient. Let's see what we got going on here. K Messenger. Hello, Diego. Greetings from Tlaxcala, Mexico. Hope your day is going well. Doing great. Same for you. Farah Andikan. Hi, Diego and Karina. So sorry. I know you've mentioned this several times, Diego, but could you kindly remind us the amount of WhatsApp conversations we should include? 2 a week. That's what? That's so 8 a month. So about 8 per month. Teja Sweeney Momadi. Good evening, Diego. Actually, I got an email from the NVC today saying that they received my case at the NVC and they provided me with a case number. We're very good. How long until I can expect the case to be forwarded to the embassy in Mumbai? And when can I expect the welcome letter? Case at NVC. Got case number. Well, it depends on how busy the consulate is in Mumbai. Remember, it's going to the consulate, not the embassy. Now, the embassy in India is in New Delhi. The consulate is in Mumbai. It all depends on how busy the embassy is. Okay? Once it gets to the embassy or to the consulate, it's the NVC they washed their hands of it. So then you're at the mercy of the embassy, okay, guys? Just gotta wait it out. It's like, you know, once it gets to the embassy, it's like I don't have to tell you how long it's gonna take. Because every embassy around the world have got their own way of doing stuff. The embassy in Manila is more busy probably than the embassy, let's say, in Belgium or Italy. Let's see. Abdikali Keita. Hi, Diego. I sent an email to my embassy. They asked me the number of my passport. That's okay. Case number, phone number, email address. My question is that they need the passport of the beneficiary. Well, they're gonna if they need the passport number of the beneficiary, they'll ask for it. They'll ask for it. When Karina, when she calls the embassy in Bogota, remember back when we were battling the embassy, they asked Karina for her passport number. It's no problem. Whatever the embassy asks for, give it to them. Kaiser, Diego. So should I then send the current edition of my filled out form I-134 to my beneficiary along with the other documents for her K-1 visa? Yes, Kaiser, send it, ship it, get it out of your house and get it in a DHL folder going to your beneficiary. Leslie Johnson, hi Diego, thanks for doing this. No problem. How long are you typically seeing it take for people to receive the embassy welcome letter? 90 days, Leslie, 3 months. So I got my NOA2 letter May 30th, 2023. So I should see the welcome letter probably the first week of September, next month sometime. For my case, every embassy is different. Every case is different. Every visa is different. Everyone's different. You can't cookie cutter this visa process. Let me see. So let's see. Leslie, I got your question. Taja Sweeney, how long until I can expect my welcome letter? Depends on how busy they are at the embassy, how busy they are at the MVC. The answer to this question is when it gets there, just relax. Be patient. I got my NOA2 letter back May. I was an April 22 filer. They didn't approve my K-1 visa till May, at the end of May, while other people were getting their visas approved who were June filers and July filers. I was still waiting, but I didn't worry about it because they're going to get to it. Just be patient. They're going to get to it. Liz B, hi Diego. My lawyer said his last K-1 applicants got an RFE asking them for proof they are still in a relationship. Okay, that's easy. And that is a new thing USCIS is doing. Does that sound right? Sure. Sounds right to me. USCIS, they want to make sure that you guys don't file a K-1 visa. Not you. I'm not saying you guys. I'm saying people. But they're trying to do a fraud immigration, right? They're trying to get a green card. So immigration is just protecting the United States of America. They're protecting the sponsor. That's what they're doing. It's no problem for me. I've got WhatsApp messages with Marina for years. If immigration all of a sudden say, there you go, I need to see proof of your relationship. Okay, well, we lived together for 5 months. We lived together for 10 months. In 2022, in 2023, I haven't been to Colombia yet. I'm just waiting for the welcome letter. Once I get the welcome letter and the case number, I'll create a case in SEAC. Then I'll schedule the visa interview, pay the visa fee for Bogota. Then I'm on a plane flying to Colombia. And I'll stay in Colombia and finish out the process. How do I prove the relationship is real? I got plane tickets, right? It's no problem. So Liz, that's no problem. Hi Diego and Karina. We are still waiting on MVC. There is a heat wave in Florida. Get a cold vest. Thank you for your support. Yeah, I got a heat advisory right here on my computer, and it's hot outside. It's hot. Okay, must be Karina messaged me. She said there must be solar flares. The solar flares are being flung from the sun and hitting Florida. Tina, good evening, Diego. Hi, Tina. Glad to see you. Tells you Sweeney, when case is forwarded to the MVC, how long does it take to receive the welcome letter? Depends. I can't answer that. It all depends on how busy they are. This is a patience game. Okay, it could be a week, it could be a month, could be 3 months. Danny, hello Diego. Can my fiance file declaration of support while waiting for the MVC case number? Yeah, you can. Yeah, no problem. Just mail it in. Get it to you. The I-134 is what you're talking about. He can send it to you. Now, if the edition changes when you receive it, then he's going to have to resend it. But right now, you're with the use edition July 31, 2023. Paya Paya, hi from India. Hi, Paya Paya. If I change my name after my divorce, do I have to update the name on the divorce decree? No. Divorce decree should say final. Whatever the divorce decree says is good. Immigration don't care what the name is. They just care that it's a final divorce decree and that you are identified as the person who got that divorce decree. Okay? Don't overthink and overconfuse this. If you have a final divorce decree, that's all immigration want to see. And then when you fill out I-129F, you're going to put in there the date the divorce was finalized. No, you're good. Pablo Vasquez, hey Diego, I got the welcome letter last week. I have already status online. It got sent to Ciudad Juarez. You know how long till I get a response from Juarez, and how long it will take to get an interview. Depends on how busy the embassy is. If they're busy, it could take a while. If they're not busy, it won't. It's hard to answer that question. 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 2 months, 3 months, there. And if it's quicker than that, then great. Pete B to Tennis Sweeney. How long did you wait for MVC notice? Liz B, we have had about 3 visits before we filed. That's good. And full year of chats, very good. Submitted to hopefully that. Oh, that's more than enough, Liz B. Oh, you're good. You got nothing to worry about. Ran Week, good evening, Diego. Nasida and I are still waiting on our MVC welcome letter. So are we. We're waiting. And it's been almost 6 weeks. Okay, that's okay. When you get to 3 months, then start sending inquiries. But we're still patiently waiting. Thanks for all you do. No problem. You're almost there. Hi, team. Art for Art. Hello from Morocco. Our friends in Morocco. Beautiful Morocco. It's a beautiful country. Teja Sweeney, I waited 2 months. Okay, there's the answer for Pete B. So Kaiser H, Diego. So as you have said that I should now go ahead and send my file to I-134. So how many months of pay stubs? 6 months of pay stubs, 12 months of bank statements. Kaiser H, 6 months of pay stubs, 12 months of bank statements. Immigration want to see 1 year worth of income going into your bank. 1 year, 12 months. What do you make in a year? And that number should be pretty close or thereabouts to what your last tax return says, right? Immigration want to know how much money you make, how much money is going into your bank so you can take care of your beneficiary. Hard Tim, Art for Art still waiting. Welcome letter since May 11th. Yeah, no problem. In the embassy in Casablanca. Now they made a good movie. They made a movie called Casablanca. Farah Andikan. Also, someone showed this letter. The U.S. Embassy or consulate in Pakistan is not processing I-129 petitions at this time and is unable to expedite the case. Is this a cause for concern? No. It just means they got overwhelmed with K-1 visas and they've asked the MVC, don't send any more K-1 visas till we get caught up with these. It doesn't mean they've stopped processing K-1 visas. What it means is that they're overwhelmed with work and they need the MVC to keep them on the shelf at the MVC for a couple of weeks or however long it is. Not for very long. The embassy in Bogota, Colombia did the same thing. The embassy in South Africa did the same thing. Now they're back to processing visas. Rand, wait. Ooh, look at that. Super chat. Thank you, Rand. Randall, right? Randall. Now it shows up as Rand on YouTube, but your name is Randall, if I remember. And thank you so much for that super chat, Randall. Much appreciated. Much appreciate you. And Liz B, look at, guys, you got to quit spending money on Diego, okay? Liz B, high five. Thank you so much, guys. Well, I've got enough money now for Mountain Dew all the way through August, I think. If this heat wave continues, it's going to kill me. Hopefully not, right? Woo, look at me, I'm sweating. But that's okay. We press on. Let's see. Let me not miss anybody. And Farah Andikan also. Guys, you are all, today, guys, you are all right. I'm going to be stocked on Mountain Dew. Plus, I can buy 2 gallons of milk because I drink milk too. So I can buy the milk. Thank you so much. But let me make sure I get all your questions because that's why I'm here, to answer your questions. Let me see. Tesha Sweeney, Diego, me and my fiance met one time before filing. That's okay. And I met him once after filing. And we have many years of chats. Video calls, is that good? Sure. You're good. Plenty. Mepadano K, awake. Well, I hope you're awake. Does the divorce decree have to be certified if done outside of the USA? Yes, it has to be a certified divorce decree. Final. Boom. Stamp. Certified. Boom. Yes. Danny, and if we have a co-sponsor, does that person also need to file I-134? Yes. Danny, listen to me. If you have a joint sponsor, the joint sponsor fills out the I-134. Okay? He or she will click that, that box on the far right that he is going to be helping you as the sponsor bring the beneficiary to the United States. And then he or she will put his or her income, how many dependents he or she has, etc. Then you as the sponsor fill out an I-134 too also. So there's going to be an I-134 for the sponsor, an I-134 from the joint sponsor. Okay, you got it? For each beneficiary. So let's suppose that the beneficiary has 2 kids, right? So the joint sponsor is going to fill out a I-134 for the beneficiary and then both kids. So that's 3 I-134s. And the sponsor, okay, is going to fill out an I-134 for the beneficiary and the 2 kids. So that's 3 I-134s. So if you have a beneficiary with 2 kids and a joint sponsor, you're going to have 6 I-134s, all filled out, signed and dated in black ink. You got it? You got it? All right, guys. And then Randall, Lisby, Farah, for all these super chats. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. That will help me also. I got the AC guy coming on Friday. Let's hope he can fix my air conditioner. Danny says, thank you, Diego. Hartim, Art for Art. I think there is a good relationship between Morocco and the United States. Oh, definitely. The first country in the world voted for us as a country. Yeah, when Morocco became a country, and gained its independence, the United States was the first country that recognized your legitimacy. And I got to drink some Mountain Dew, guys. It is hot. It's hot. Florida, in September or October, I'll probably be in Colombia finishing up the visa for Karina. But for right now in August, this hot weather is a killer, and I got no AC. And I got these lights on me also. So I'm cooking like a hot dog. But that's all right. Cheers, everybody. Now, let me see what other questions we have here. Monica. Yeah, Hatim. Yeah, there is a good relationship between the United States and Morocco. Now, you got to understand, the United States, the people of America, we love everybody. We love everybody. Okay? We do. We don't hate anybody. We love people, now, just because the U.S. government doesn't get along with the people, gets along, the U.S. government doesn't get along with the government of Venezuela, does that mean Americans don't like Venezuelans? No. We love Venezuelans. My fiancée, Karina, is Venezuelan. She's going to be in America soon. Right? Our friends in Russia, our friends in Ukraine, we love you guys. Our friends in Iran, in Syria, in Iraq, we love you guys. It's the government. We got to get the governments to fight each other and not the people, right? Pete B, currently 84 days from NOA 2-0 from NBC. You're pretty close, Pete B. And Randall, yes, Randall, I got you, Randall. Brian and Jacqueline. Hi, Diego and Korea. Hey, Brian and Jacqueline. Now you guys are in. You get your family's in Bogota, Colombia. They should be getting ready to come to the USA. Well, they should be here already. Actually, right? Farah Andacan, you deserve the best, Diego. Sorry. Oh, hold on a second, guys. Tina, guys, high five to Tina. Bravo. Thank you for the super chat, Tina. Fantastic. Let me see. I don't want to miss anybody on the questions. The question is important. Hi, Diego. Oh, let me back up a little bit. Monica. Hi, Diego. I have MVC welcome letter. Okay, check the case tracker and case is ready. Okay. Go ahead and pay the visa fee and start the process. If you have a ready status, go ahead, get your visa in motion. Pay the visa fee and start processing your visa. Kaiser, Diego, can I include my retirement account along with my... Yes, Kaiser, you've asked me that question 5 million times. You can use your 401k, my friend, with the I-134. What other types of assets do you recommend? Well, if you could use your house, the equity in your house. If you have 2 cars, you can use 1 car. If you have 1 car, you cannot use the car as equity. You can't use it. But if you have 2 or more cars, you can use the Blue Book value of the other vehicles. Checking account, savings account, etc. That all helps, right? But you can use the cash value of your 401k. Jacob, the heat is why Florida is not for me. It's been a very, very hot July and August, guys. And it's probably teaching me a lesson in not letting my AC not go without maintenance. Let's see. Brian and Jacqueline, got you guys. Pete B, Taja Sweeney, Manila, Philippines. I use my fiance is in India. We have not received NOA 2. We filed July 2022. Oh, you're close to your NOA 2. I see other people approve. Don't look at other people's K1 visas. Okay, don't do that. Don't compare your visa to somebody else's visa. Don't do that. Just focus on your visa. Okay, you're going to get your NOA 2 very, very soon. I use. Nismo.dream. Hi, Diego. I am waiting for my welcome letter, but I need a co-sponsor. What can I do? Get a co-sponsor. Get a co-sponsor. Have them fill out the I-134. Okay? Get their W-2s, 1099s, pay stubs, letter from their employer. Get all that stuff. Get it together and prepare it. You can send it to your beneficiary. All right? You got that, Nismo? You must get that stuff together and get it to your beneficiary in her country. And then the immigration officer will approve her visa. Let me see. Ashley Ayus. I don't want to miss anybody. Ashley, you take the I-134 to the interview. Yes, Ashley Santana. You must take, your beneficiary must take the original signed in black ink I-134 Declaration of Financial Support to the K1 visa interview. Okay? You got to take it in person with the 1040s, the tax transcripts, the W-2s, the 1099, the pay stubs, and the bank statements. 6 months worth of pay stubs, 12 months worth of bank statements. Okay? And ooh, that cool breeze felt good. I got the windows open, so I got a cool breeze. That felt good. So if you need a co-sponsor, Nismo, get on that right today. Lots of questions, and I don't want to miss anybody. Let's see. Teja Sweeney, I heard the Philippines takes a long time to process K1 visas. That's not true. It's going pretty quick. The embassy in Manila, it's going pretty quick. Antonio Block, have you received your welcome letter yet, Diego? We're on some similar time frames. Not yet, Antonio. We're waiting for our welcome letter. We haven't got it yet. It's going to come in an email It will come into my phone in an email. See, that's Karina. Look how pretty she is. Isn't she pretty? On my email. The MVC will send me the welcome letter. Paya, after I get married in 90 days, when I start working USA. As soon as you get your green card. Unless you apply for a work permit, an EAD, and you can include that in your K1 visa package, which is free, by the way. Now that form is free. I stand corrected on my last videos of past couple of months ago. But you can apply for a work permit, or you can just wait for your green card to get here. Then you can start working. Good to be with others that understand what we're going through. You're absolutely right, PB. I watch Diego, even though I don't have a question, because I learn a lot from listening and the live chats. Well, Pete, that's great. The purpose of this YouTube channel is for you guys, to help you. And Monica says I skipped her question. I got bunches of questions. Let me see, Monica. Let me back it up a second and see if I can find your question. Hi, Diego. I have my welcome letter, and I checked the case tracker, and our case is at ready status. Does this mean we can pay and pick the day our case is? Yeah, go ahead and apply for your K1 visa for your interview. Pay the visa fee and get the interview scheduled in Casablanca. You can do it. You're good. You got the ready status. Brian and Jacqueline. Good gracious, guys. High five. Thank you for that super chat. Guys, today you're just being overly generous. I appreciate you guys. You must see how hot it is here. I tell you, without an air conditioner, it's killing me. But it's all good. Thank you, Brian and Jacqueline, for that fantastic super chat. And let me see here. Brian and Jacqueline, yeah, we've received the notice that the case was sent to the embassy and it shows ready. Okay. But I haven't received the packet 3 or invoice. I emailed the embassy and they said in a couple of weeks. Okay. So what that means is, Brian and Jacqueline, the embassy has got a lot of K1 visas in their pipeline at the embassy in Bogota. Okay. I'm in the same boat as you guys, except we're not as far along as you. So it's when they say a couple of weeks, it's give it 2 to 4 weeks. Okay, 2 to 4 weeks. If you haven't heard from the embassy in 4 weeks from today, August 9th, 2023, send them another email, do a follow-up. Email them, say, hey, I've been waiting 4 weeks. What's going on? They'll respond to you. Let's see here. Daggy, hi, Diego, my favorite live show. Well, we're glad you liked the live show. Brian and Jacqueline, you guys hang in there, okay? You're almost there. Tejaswani will be a great help. Where is the fly? I use. Hey, Diego, Fresh Skater 24. Hey, what's going on? Fresh Skater 24, what are you doing today? You're watching the live stream. Finally got an interview day. Woo, high five. Good job. So you didn't give up, right? You kept going back and checking on the embassy. You kept checking, and you finally got in there. Monica, Diego question. Even with my welcome letter and ready status, should I already create my SIAC account? Yes. Or am I supposed to wait for a packet letter? No. Go ahead and create it. If you have a case number, you can create the SIAC account. Create it. Start it. Get it moving. Nismo the Dream. Thanks again, Diego. No problem. Pete B, Tejaswini, yes, Manila is swamped, but it's going faster than it was a year ago. It's going twice as fast than a year ago. A year ago, the embassy in Manila was just overwhelmed. They were playing catch up from the COVID. Yes, you are almost there, Pete B. Paya, India. I am from India. India driving license allows there. I can drive in the USA. As a tourist, Paya, India. As a tourist, you can drive in the United States on your Indian driver's license. Okay? I've got an Italian driver's license. I've got a British driver's license. I think, yeah, those are the other 2 countries that I have the driver's license from. But I can't use those as I'm a legal resident of America as a U.S. citizen, so I cannot use them as a driver's license to use I have to have an American driver's license. Okay. Now I can use my Italian driver's license in Italy as a tourist, not as a resident. If I was to relocate to Italy and live in Italy, okay, it's, you're moving to America. You're going to live in the United States. You have to get an American driver's license. The Indian one can only be used as a tourist. When I go to Colombia, I can drive in Colombia on my American driver's license as a tourist. But as a permanent resident of Colombia, I cannot do that. I would have to get a Colombian driver's license. I hope that explained it to you. Fresh Skater 24, how long does the DS160 last? How long does it's 30 days. It expires after 30 days once you fill it out. JD, hi Diego, how are you? Doing good. Good morning from India. Well, it's morning in India. Okay. 5th of August 2023, case ready. 5th August, DS160 submitted. 6th of August, paid the visa fee. Online, got a receipt. No welcome letter, 92 days. Well, ask him, email him. Where's my welcome letter? Send him an email. Sounds like you got everything pretty much done now. Tina, hi Diego, my fiance's medical will expire in 6 months. That's correct. Starting from the first day of his medical, is the adjustment of status supposed to be done before the medical expires? You can, the medical exam is good for 2 years in the United States. Okay, so it's good for 2 years. But once you get, it's only good for 6 months in the beneficiary's country. So, for example, Karina will get her medical exam done in Bogota, right? It's good for 6 months in Colombia. But once she gets to the United States, it's good for 2 years from the date that she had the medical exam. But what we're going to do is we're going to do the medical exam in Bogota. When she gets to the United States, we're going to just redo the medical exam in Pensacola, right down the street, and jump in the car. And the doctor there, who is approved by the State Department, will redo her medical. He'll look over the papers from the last medical. Okay, she's good, she's good, she's good. He'll check her vaccination documents. She's good, she's good, she's good. And put it in a sealed envelope and give it to me. And I'll just pay him for his time. How much money can it possibly cost for him to review a medical exam? Probably not much, a couple of $100, pay the doctor for his knowledge and his skill. He went to school for what, 12 years to be able to do that. So, I got no problem with paying him and then get her adjustment of status paperwork sent off within 90 days. Excuse me, I got to drink some more Mountain Dew, guys. The sun's going down, but it's pretty hot. So what I'm going to do is redo Karina's medical exam in Pensacola, have the doctor re-sign the DS, I can't remember the name of the form, 693, resubmit the vaccination documents, have him sign off on that. And then when I file for her adjustment of status, when you file for adjustment of status for the green card, you want to load that paperwork up with evidence of your marriage, the I-485, the I-484, the affidavit of support, the medical exam, the vaccinations. Go on a weekend honeymoon somewhere. Spend a weekend someplace. Get the receipts from the hotel. Pictures of your wedding. Pictures. You want to load up your adjustment of status paperwork so you don't get an RFE, okay, on your green card adjustment. Otherwise, if you got an RFE and you can't prove the information, then you're going to have to repay and resubmit everything, and it's going to cost another $1,200. It's expensive. Let's see. Just Sweeney, Diego, when coming to the USA and getting married, how early can we travel to another country? Is there a form to fill out to travel? Yeah, you're going to have to fill out. If you want to travel while waiting for the green card, you got to fill out an advance parole document. Come to America, adjust the status, fill out a work permit, fill out an advance parole document, and then wait for the advance parole document. So you can travel, but not until you get permission from the government. You got to get permission first from the U.S. government. Tina, hi Diego, my fiance medical will expire. Do what I just said, Tina. Kaiser, Diego, so the second updated letter of intent to marry has to be addressed to the U.S. Embassy. Yes, that's correct. And what is the date that I'm supposed to include on it? 2 weeks before the visa interview at the earliest. When you fill out your second letter of intent to get married, Mr. Sponsor, Miss Sponsor, you're going to write a letter of intent to get married, a new one. And you're going to date it and sign it in black ink 2 weeks before the scheduled visa interview. Unless you live in Brazil. If you live in Brazil, you're going to have to write a letter of intent to get married. Plus, you got to sign it. Plus, the beneficiary, he or she has to sign in front of the immigration officer a letter of singleness. And I might have it here, right here. I don't know if I have it. But Brazil is a country that wants you to sign a letter of singleness in front of the consular officer at the embassy interview. Brazil is the only country I know of that makes you do that. The beneficiary will to get married in his or her language of choice, language that she speaks in her home country, unless she's fluent in English. If your beneficiary is fluent in English, she can write it in English. She can write it in English. If your beneficiary is not fluent in English, she's got to write it in her home language. Okay, then you got to get it translated into English. Lindsay, hi Diego, can I do expedited requests for I-134A because of the gang violence in my country? Well, an I-134A, Lindsay Dorr, is an asylum request. So this is mainly about K-1 visas. But if you are applying for an asylum request for your beneficiary because of gang violence, well, there's gang violence in Los Angeles. There's gang violence all in America too. So it's probably not going to fly as an excuse. Okay? There's violence everywhere around the world. It's terrible, right? People are people. But here's what I say you do on the I-134A. You're going to file it online and just get in line and wait your turn. Okay? Don't try to expedite it. Then it just slows down the process. Immigration looks at it. They're going to deny the expedite. They will. They're going to deny it. They're going to say, get in line, wait your turn. So you could try, but it's not likely going to happen. Diego, you missed my question above. Teja Sweeney, you asked me like a million questions. Let me see. Teja Sweeney. Diego, I'm coming to the USA and getting married. I answered your question. How early can you come? You got to wait for the green card or the advanced parole document. Okay? You got to wait for the advanced parole document or the green card. Then you can travel. Then you can leave America. Joey M., where can I find their contact email if I have any questions about my K-1 visa? Whose contact email? The USCIS? Tuan Benson, hello, Diego from Miami. Okay, Miami, I remember. Will you do a video on I-485, step by step? Sure. The I-485 is the adjustment of status. It's not a difficult form to fill out, as long as you're patient and don't rush it. The thing what I see the most about the K-1 visa process and the green card process is it's in a hurry. It's got to be done right yesterday. It's like, it's got 2 minutes. The immigration get frustrated when they get 100,000 K-1 visas they're looking at, and everybody wants it done yesterday. And I understand that you guys want to be with your loved ones and you miss your loved ones. I miss Karina. I miss her terribly. But I know I got to be patient during the process. But I can make a video on the 485, sure. Let me see. A fresh skater. Can you submit DS-160 if it expires? Sure. You can redo it. Joey M., where can I find their contact email? I don't know which embassy, what USCIS, NBC. Let me see. Tina, would my beneficiary have to do the medical once he gets here? Not necessarily. How do we look for a doctor who could do the medical? Well, what I did was I Googled, I went into Google and I typed in USCIS immigration doctor near me, and it popped up a list of doctors. And our doctor is in Pensacola. I just Googled it, Or you can go to the State Department website and Google it in there, look it up in there. There's a phone number you can call. I don't know it off the top of my head that you can call. Lindsay, I wouldn't try to expedite the I-134A. Just wait your turn. Pete B, adjustment of status. It helps to have your utilities in both your names. Yeah, you better have it. A joint bank account. Now you can, if you don't have your social security number, you're not going to be able to open up a joint bank account. Okay, it's going to be difficult. So what I would do is put your beneficiary as a POD recipient or payable on death, and then have the bank print a letter that says that the beneficiary, this person's name, is the payable on death for this bank account number, checking, savings, whatever. And that will be sufficient while you're waiting for the social security number, because you can't open a joint bank account without a social security number in most banks that I know of anyway. Paya, if we marry within 90 days, do we still have to have another interview here in the USA? It depends. Paya, you're going to have an interview at the border entry with the Border Patrol officer when you enter. And then if you submit a very strong adjustment of status package with all this evidence that you guys have been together forever, and you got all these pictures and evidence of your relationship plus your marriage and everything, there's a good chance you won't have another visa interview. Immigration have got better things to do than to interview people who are in real relationships. They only interview people that submit weak adjustment of status paperwork. You know, if you put together a sloppy adjustment of status paperwork, just a couple of pages with hardly any evidence in there that you guys are married in a real, all you include is your marriage certificate and the basic paperwork, you're going to get an interview. They're going to want to see you. But, you know, when I adjust the adjustment of status for Karina, I lived with her for 10 months in Bogota. I got 10 months worth of receipts where we were, when I went to the Jumbo, when I went to Dollar City, when I went to Éxito, Macro Campo, when we went to the Centro Comercial, I bought something, I paid for food, whatever. I got rent receipts. I kept everything. So when I adjust status, I can say, hey, Mr. Immigration Officer, I lived with Karina for 10 months in Bogota. Legally, I had permission from the Colombian government. And here's all my evidence. Boom. I'm 99% sure that I don't have to put Karina through another visa interview. Let's see. So, JD, it's 10th of May, 2023. Today is August 9th, 2023. Whoopslap, is there a time frame for filing adjustment of status after you marry? Whoopslap. Here's what I recommend. Get it done within 90 days. So remember, when your beneficiary enters the United States, she goes from a K-1 visa to a I-94 visa. Basically, an I-94 is legal entry into America. The I-94 is good for 90 days. If you can get your adjustment of status done before the I-94 expires, you'll get your green card a lot quicker and your social security card a lot quicker than if you wait 4 or 5 months. Okay, you want to get it done as quick as you can. Paya, if my ex refuses to cooperate in providing a written statement that my daughter will be staying with her since she has always lived with her, what can I do? We don't have an amicable relationship. Then you write it. Paya, you write the letter, okay, and get it notarized. Write an affidavit, get it notarized, okay, and explain in the letter that your ex will not has got no contact with you. Okay, put in the letter what I told you to do in the past, and then just add in the letter that your ex has got no contact with you, and therefore what is hard to get any information from her. There was a lot of fights, and they only want money. I'm from India. Yeah, I can understand it, Paya. But the goal right now is to get you the visa, get this visa thing squared away for you. Okay. Life in North Carolina. Wait a second. My daughter will be staying with her mother, my ex. Okay. Have your daughter write a letter, unless she's under 18. Life in North Carolina. Hello, Diego, checking in from Greensboro. Tina, thank you. I use. What are good states to live in the USA? I heard Florida extremely hot. Look at me. I'm sweating like a, you know, tamale here. And it's very hot in Florida. Yes. And it's expensive to live in Florida. But it's a free state. Okay. Florida, you don't have income tax in Florida on your income. So you pay your taxes to the federal government, obviously, IRS. They want to steal money from you, but you don't pay tax on your income as a resident of Florida. Texas is the same way. Texas is you don't pay income on your income in Texas. Nevada is the same way. I believe Washington State. There's like 5 states in the union where you don't, which are very tax friendly towards people. Florida, Texas, and Nevada are the top 3. So if I was going to recommend anybody live anywhere, I would recommend Florida, Texas, or Nevada. If you don't like paying taxes, I don't like paying taxes. I work hard, and I don't really feel like handing that money over to some government bureaucrat sitting in a cubicle to pay their salary to tell me that I got to pay them. You know, I'm kidding. You gotta have taxes for roads, police, fire department. You gotta have taxes for the military, etc. I understand that, but let's look at what are they spending the money on other than what's required. They waste billions of dollars of our tax money. So Texas, Nevada, and Florida, those are the 3 states I recommend. JD, if you like cold weather, I don't know of any tax-friendly states that are cold. Although Nevada gets pretty cold in the wintertime. Nevada's cold in the wintertime, hot in the summer. JD, after you submit DS-160 and visa fee, is it good for a year? No, the DS-160 is good for 30 days. The visa fee is good for a year, fiscal year. So the fiscal year ends October 1st, September 30th of this year. But the embassy consular officer will carry that over if they see that, you're still waiting to get stuff done. It gets carried over. Whoop slap, Diego, 10 days after coming into the country, you can apply for a Social Security card. I have reached out to the Social Security Administration and they confirmed it. Well, what Karina and I are going to do is we're going to fill out the adjustment of status paperwork. And on the adjustment of status paperwork, on the form 485, it says, do you want immigration to process Karina's Social Security card? And we're going to put yes. We're going to let them handle it. Boof, let them do it. Wait for it to come in the mail. But that's good information. But like I said, we're not in a hurry. We're patient people. We're going with the flow. Kaiser, Diego. So once I have submitted my adjustment of status, then there will be a likelihood of the interview, and also will both my beneficiary and I have to go for another interview once we are going to lift the conditions. Okay, you lift the conditions on your 2-year green card 3 months before your 2-year green card expires. So you got your green card, you look for the issue date, and you look for the expiration date. 90 days before it expires, you lift the conditions on your 2-year probationary green card. Now, depending on how strong of a paperwork package you put together, when you lift the conditions off of your 2-year green card, or when you apply for the 2-year green card, depending on how powerful and how strong your package is, will determine whether you get a visa interview or not. If you put together a cheap, quick, sloppy adjustment of status paperwork with hardly any evidence in there other than financial and that you guys got married, then they're gonna want to talk to you. You're gonna get a visa face to face. If you put together a strong, powerful adjustment of status paperwork, your beneficiary's name is on the gas bill, the water bill, the rent receipts, the mortgage, the car title, the homeowners association. You get her a credit card with her married name from your bank. You get her as a payable on death. You get all that. Put together a strong adjustment of status paperwork. And when I did my first K1 visa, I didn't have another visa interview because I worked hard to put together a strong visa package. I'm going to do the same for Karina. Okay. She is going to have a very, very, very powerful adjustment of status evidence that we are married and together for eternity. Okay. So the immigration is going to know they don't have to waste their time talking to me or Karina again for a visa interview. So you won't have Kaiser H. If it's all on you, it's all on you. How strong is your paperwork going to be for when you apply for the green card? How powerful? How strong? How much evidence? How much work are you going to put into it? The harder you work, the luckier you get, right? Paya, I don't know where my ex lives with my daughter. What address should I indicate on the application as I'm writing her information? Put address unknown. You don't know where she lives. Unknown. Don't know where she lives. No contact. Absolutely zero contact. Jeff Mantalk. So it's cheap. It's cheap to live in Indiana. That's good to know. Paya, what kind of information do I need to provide for my daughter? She is not coming with me. Do I need her documents if she is not coming? You're going to have to tell the immigration officer that your daughter is staying in India. Okay? Face to face. There's no paperwork required other than the fact that she's not coming. You got to tell, just tell the immigration officer she's staying in India. Thevi Stray POV. Hi, Diego. Any update for I-134? No, keep using the current I-134. Pete B, Nevada cold. Haha, Minnesota. Boy, hold my beer. Just joking. It's all relative. Nevada gets cold in the wintertime, but probably not as cold as Minnesota. And Florida gets cold in the wintertime, but, January and February is our coldest months. I use Diego. How about a fan? We can feel the Florida heat. Yes, look how hot it is. Here's the thing, guys. I got the AC guy coming on Friday. Today's what? Wednesday? He'll be here Friday. So when I do the live stream on Saturday, I'll have AC on. So I'll be cool. So I'm good for a couple of days. But the Centers for Disease Control say that if you are in 95-degree plus heat or 100% humidity for 6 days straight, you die. Well, I'm still here. So that blew that statistic out the window. Pete B, Minnesota is a 7% state tax. Oh, that's a lot of money. So Minnesota takes 7% out of your paycheck, plus the federal government takes their share. So you get double tax. In Florida, the state of Florida takes zero taxes out of my pay. Zero. We are a fiscally sound, self-sustaining state in the union where the government doesn't need to tax us on our income. But we pay sales tax when we go to the grocery store. When I go and buy Mountain Dew at Walmart, thanks to all these great, gracious super chats, I get my Mountain Dew and I pay sales tax. I think it's 7.5%. But that's okay. I don't mind paying a sales tax. I just don't like being double taxed or triple taxed. Diego, how about a fan? It's hot. Yeah, I'm going to get my AC running by Friday, okay? JD, if I do the interview after the 20th September, so I have to fill a new DS-160. Yeah, you'd have to redo it. IU, 115 degrees. No, it's 88 degrees right now. But I'll get that temperature down to the 65, 70 degrees on Friday. Come on, guys, throw some questions. Daggy, when we do adjustment of status, we use the same medical exam as the package has to be sealed. Yes, it has to be sealed since the integration will take one at the airport. So ask the doctor in your beneficiary's country to give you 2 medical exams, one for immigration in the embassy or the border patrol, and one for the adjustment of status. If you don't include a medical exam in a sealed envelope plus vaccination information in a sealed envelope, when you adjust the status to green card, you're going to get an RFE. And I see them over and over and over. People get in RFEs because they didn't file their medical exam and vaccination status in the adjustment of status paperwork. 1 second, guys. Brian and Jacqueline, I think here in California we get quadruple tax. I think so. There is taxes on top of taxes. I stopped looking at my pay stubs because it's sickening. Yeah, in California, apparently Governor Newsom believes that I think he just signed an executive order banning the sale of new gasoline powered lawnmowers. What's up with that? How are you supposed to cut the grass? Get a battery powered lawnmower? So where are you going to get one of those? I love California. I love the people, but I could never live there because it's insane. The way the taxation in California is insane. People are leaving California in droves because of the taxes. Who just left California? Dean Cain, the movie star who played Superman. He played Superman? He left California. Wahlberg, Mark Wahlberg, the actor, he left California. Bunches of people, they're getting out of there. They're sick and tired of it. Kaiser, Diego, once I have submitted my adjustment of status, then when will we be approximate time that my beneficiary will get his conditional green card? Will get her conditional green card. Depends on which state you live in. Depends on how busy they are. I would say between 6 to 8 months. It's an average. It's about an 8-month wait for the green card. Tina, yes, too much tax here too. Well, we have an income. We don't have an income tax. We just have a sales tax. So it's cheap to live here. Property taxes. The property taxes on my house are low, not very high. It's all relative. Brian and Jacqueline, I guess he figures everyone will cut it with scissors. Yes. Governor Newsom banned the sale of brand new gasoline-powered lawnmowers, leaf blowers, weed whackers, cars. He's telling everybody you have to buy an electric car by 2035. That's unconstitutional, I think, in my opinion. The government can't tell you what you can and cannot buy. We live in a free market capitalist economy, right? I mean, I'm not bashing anybody. I'm just saying, where does he get the authority to tell you, Mr. American citizen, you can't buy a gasoline-powered car? He has no authority. But elections have consequences. Ashley Santana, do you think it's necessary to show proof of planning a wedding when we are just going to the courthouse? Yes. You have to show proof of planning a wedding, Ashley. What if you get an RFE? What are your wedding plans? What are you going to show the immigration folks? You need to bring wedding plans to the embassy interview. Email the courthouse. Send an email to the courthouse. Dear Mr. Courthouse, Mrs. Courthouse, Miss Courthouse, I would like to know what paperwork do I need to get married in this county? Mr. Courthouse and Miss Courthouse will send you a reply back. This is what you need to do to get married in this county. You come in, you pick up the paperwork, you wait 3 days, you pay the court fees for the marriage license, and then you have to get married, blah, blah, blah. Those are wedding plans. Ashley, your mic is going in and out today. Well, I'm sorry, guys. Maybe I got this microphone here, but I never use it. Maybe I should plug it in. Who knows? Brian and Jacqueline, let me see. Hold on a second. Yeah, Ashley, you need proof of wedding plans. You got to have proof. Pete, how hard to mow 3-acre lawn with a battery-powered lawnmower? It's, the people of California elected Governor Newsom, their governor. They elected their Florida legislators. So they have to put up with the consequences of that, right? Even though I believe that they earn remember, I think California banned the sale of flat screen TVs about 10 years ago. So what did people do? They got in their car and drove to Nevada and bought their flat screen TVs in Nevada. You know, it's just, anyway. Brian and Jacqueline, we haven't received the invoice number yet. Is that something the embassy will send? Yeah, the embassy. The invoice number, you can email the embassy and ask them for the invoice number. Okay, say, hey, here's my case number, here's my beneficiary, date of birth, etc. Identify yourself so they can find you in the system. Include your passport number in the email, and they'll be able to find you. And they ask for the invoice number. Andrew Bryan, so Diego, my DS-160 was filled out on July 11th. My interview will be next 3 weeks from today. Does my DS-160 expire? July 11th, August 11th. When is, help me out. When is your interview? Did you print the confirmation page, Andrew, of your DS-160? If you've already printed the confirmation page, you should be okay. JD, for scheduling medical exam, what documents are required to take with me? You got to bring your passport. You got to bring passport photos, at least 4. I believe it's 4. You got to bring the NOA2 letter, the welcome letter. You got to bring to the medical doctor to be able to see your NOA2 letter that you got approved for the visa, your passport, the welcome letter from the embassy, passport photos, things like that. Make sure you bring those to the medical exam. Plus, you know, the medical doctor needs to be able to see that you're actually going through an immigration process. And the evidence that he or she's going to need is definitely the NOA2 letter. USCIS K1 visa wait times. Hi, Diego. California silliness is in Miami, too. Well, every county, there's 67 counties in Florida. Florida's got 67 counties. And some counties, you know, they want to put the boot of tyranny on the necks of the citizens. Some counties let you live free. Depends where you live. But I thought that Miami was changed hands into more intellectual people who have more freedom. I don't know. Ashley Santana, how much is the adjustment of status? Well, they're looking at changing the price. The price is going up, so I don't know. But I would, as of right now, the adjustment of status for a green card per person right now is about $1,200, and that includes the biometrics. Now, the biometrics is the face, the fingerprints, and things like that. Benny Yao is in the house. Now, listen up, folks. Benny Yao, our friend Benny Yao, his beneficiary lives in the Ivory Coast. She lives in the Ivory Coast, and he would check in on the YouTube live stream he checked in from the hotel in New York City. Then he checked in from the Ivory Coast. Now he's back again checking in from his home. And he says, hi, Diego. I finally got an RFE status on August 4th. Okay. Waiting for the letter in the mail. How long does it usually take USCIS to make a decision once they hear from the RFE recipient? About 2 to 4 weeks. An RFE, Benny Yao, is no big deal. It's only a big deal if you cannot provide the information they ask for. Benny Yao, did you provide the information USCIS asked for? Did you give them the information, exactly what they wanted? Did you give them the information? JD, medical exam, and Benny Yao, welcome back to the channel, by the way. I hope you got over your jet lag from your flight to the Ivory Coast. JD, medical exam scheduled only after biometrics schedule, first or not like that. Depends on your embassy. You got to ask the embassy. Okay? The embassy in Manila, Philippines wants you to schedule the medical exam 2 weeks before the visa interview. Every embassy is different. Paya Paya from India, police certificate, how long valid for USA? The State Department says a police certificate is good for 2 years from the issue date. Brian and Jacqueline. Now, does my letter from work have to be signed by my superintendent? Because I asked him to write me a letter that says I work for them in my current pay, but the goofball didn't. Just have somebody from HR sign it. Have somebody from the HR, human resources, scribble bibble. Kaiser H, Diego, as you have said, that when doing the adjustment of status, I can also fill out both I-765, that's the EAD, that's the work permit, and the I-131, that's the advanced parole, for free. Then when is those two documents expected? Do they come before the green card? Most of the time they come before the green card. That's what the goal is, right? You want to get them before the green card. But I've been seeing people get their EAD, their work permit, and their advanced parole, and then a month or two later get their green card. When Karina gets to America, we're not going to apply for a work permit, EAD card. We're not going to ask for advanced parole because she doesn't want to leave America. When she gets there, she wants to stay here. You know, we're just going to wait for the green card and her social security card. That's it. Brian and Jacqueline, it has his name and the company name and everything else on it. Okay. Well, you know, he just forgot to sign it and he won't. What's the problem? He won't sign it. Ask him to sign it. Yeah. Christian, hello, Diego. How are you? Doing good, Christian. Thank you. How are you? The embassy approved me to schedule the interview for my K1 visa. Very good. That's good. I have a question. My fiance was married before. Okay. Should I take a copy of the divorce certificate or the original? The certified, Christian, listen to me. She's gonna need the certified divorce decree final. Doesn't have to be the original. Doesn't have to be. Go to the courthouse, have them print the divorce decree, which says final. Have the office administrator there stamp and sign that it's a certified copy. Very important. Benny Yao, they say the letter includes what they are asking for. So once I receive it, hopefully tomorrow I'll know what they're asking for. Okay, you're not quite sure yet, Benny Yao, what they want. Gotcha. Don't worry, you'll be okay. Ashley Santana, does the intent to be married letter that is translated have to be signed? Yes. You take both copies, the original and the translated. Here's what you do, Ashley, with the letter of intent to get married. I want to use Karina as an example. She loves being the example. Karina is going to write a second letter of intent to get married in Spanish on her computer. Okay, she's going to type it on her computer, and then she's going to sign it in black ink and date it. Okay, then I'm going to get it translated into English by a certified translation company. We use the Spanish Group. They don't pay me to say that. Use any company you want, but we use the Spanish Group in California because they're quick. So I will be in Bogota, Colombia. I will have the letter of intent to get married signed by Karina, dated. I will take a picture of it with my cell phone or scan my email and email it and upload it to the Spanish Group. They will then translate it within 2 or 3 days and email it back to me. I will print that copy, the translation, and then when Karina goes to the visa interview, she will have her original letter of intent to get married, signed and dated. Behind it, she will have the Spanish, she'll have the translation, and then behind that, she will have the certification that it was translated by a certified translation company. So it's going to be the letter of intent to get married, signed and dated, original, then the translation into English, then the certification. And she's going to have my letter of intent to get married signed by me in English. I don't have to get mine translated. I can speak English pretty good. So I'll just write it, sign it, and date it. She will have both letters, plus hers, plus the translation, plus the certification. Very simple, guys. Ashley, did I answer your question? Andrew Bryan, yes, I printed the confirmation page. Will be the 29th. Then you're good. Andrew Bryan, you are good to go. Christian, doing great. Thank you. And you and I have close USCIS approval dates, so I hope your day is coming soon. Thank you for the answer. No problem, Christian. Glad to be here. Glad to answer your question. I'm here for you guys. Look, I got like a little bit of Mountain Dew left, but I can keep talking because I've replenished. I'm sweating, guys. Woo! But I got plenty more of these in the nevera, in the fridge. Okay, so Benny Yao, when you get your RFE in the mail, okay, respond to it exactly how they want you to respond to it. No more, no less. Okay, if they ask you for 3 widgets, submit the 3 widgets. Not 4, not 5, not 6, 3. Don't give any more than what they ask for in the RFE. Okay? And you'll be fine. I'm looking forward to finding out what it is. It's probably something very simple and very silly that you forgot to include in your I-129F package. I did the same thing when on my first K1 visa back in 2016. I forgot to include something and I got an RFE. You know, I responded to it in 2 weeks. I got my visa approved. How soon do you think I should apply for a police certificate? We are waiting on NOA2. Today, tomorrow. What's today? Wednesday, tomorrow, Thursday. Get your police certificate tomorrow. It's good for 2 years. Okay. From the issue date. Or you could, it depends on which country too. If you're trying to get a police certificate from Hong Kong, that's a bear. That's a difficult country to get a police certificate from. So, you know, I made a video on how to get a police certificate from Hong Kong. That's how complicated it is. But for Karina, when we get the welcome letter from the National Visa Center, she's going to get on her laptop and she's going to apply for her police certificate from Colombia. She'll get it within 5 minutes. But she uses her cedular number from her residency card for Colombia. And then when she gets it, I'll translate it into English. Boom. It's easy. But if you have a hard time getting the police certificate, Hong Kong is a country that's difficult. Like China. If you live in communist China, you have to get a police certificate from every province that you lived in China. So if you lived in 3 different provinces in China, you got to get 3 different police certificates. Okay. Brazil is the same way. In Brazil, you got to get districts. You got to get police certificates from districts. So if you lived in 2 or 3 different districts in Brazil, let's suppose you lived in Rio de Janeiro, São Paulo, and some other place. You got to get 3 districts. Woof. So start working on it. Kaiser, Diego, when my beneficiary comes to the United States after she gets her K1 visa, that she can go to any of the U.S. territories, U.S. Virgin Islands, Puerto Rico. Sure. No problem. Paya, how long is the police certificate valid? 2 years. Should it be issued after NOA2 or before? Get it when you get your NOA2 letter. Unless it's a country to get a police certificate. How difficult is it for you to get a police certificate from India? Is it difficult? Does it take 6 months? You know, some countries take a long time to get a police certificate. Colombia takes 2 minutes. Venezuela, Karina can get her police certificate from Venezuela, but she has to get on the computer like at 1 o'clock in the morning when everybody's asleep, so she can process it. Because during the day, internet connection in Venezuela is not the greatest. CB White YO5, Diego, which visa is fastest to get to visit Mexico? My girlfriend is from Venezuela. I know she's from Venezuela. I remember. She's waiting on her passport. I remember. You paid $600 to get her passport, right? For Venezuela. Cost $600. You know, $50 went to process the passport, and $550 paid off the Venezuelan Communist Party, right? It's very expensive to get a passport in Venezuela. Apparently, they don't want the citizens to leave the country. Get the passport, and my recommendation is, if there's, traveling from Venezuela to Mexico is not difficult, okay? But you're gonna have to ask the Mexican government if she can get residency in Mexico. You want to get her residency in Mexico, okay? Paya. If the person was arrested for domestic violence but not convicted and the police certificate is cleared, it's fine. If the police certificate is clear, if immigration's going to look at the police certificate, what's on the police certificate? CBY05, Diego, you have a good memory. I do. I was a math guy and a physics guy in college, guys. I can remember, if I can remember physics equations, I can remember how to process a K1 visa, and I remember friends. Now, I remember you CBY05 that your Venezuelan fiance lives in Caracas, Venezuela, and we talked about getting her on a bus from Caracas to Cucuta, getting her residency in Colombia, right? But if you have family in Mexico, if you got family in Mexico, then you need to find out what the Mexican government will do in regards to residency status for her in Mexico. I know I can tell you all about Colombia, but Mexico, I haven't studied that country, you know. Paya, thank you. You're welcome. God's Power Thomas. Hello, Diego. I filled my DS-160 May 25th. My status is ready. Yet to receive the receipt to pay my visa fee. Please, what can I do? Email the embassy. Ask them for advice. The U.S. Embassy now has control of your visa. You got to get in touch with the embassy. The MVC are done with you. USCIS are done with you. Now the embassy has it. Okay? JD, I got DS-160 confirmation page, 5th of August, but due to welcome letter and medical pending, I haven't scheduled my VAC interview, and only August slots open and no September. Showing what I do. JD, you schedule the visa interview when you possibly can. When you have scheduled the visa interview, you got to get your medical exam done. Your medical is pending. Get your medical exam done, and then schedule your visa interview right away. Daggy, we are planning to ask the physician to give us a second copy. There you go. However, I saw a couple of videos. People included the DS-3020 and I-693, but not sealed. It's got to be sealed, Daggy. The medical exam has to be sealed when you file your adjustment of status paperwork. If it's not sealed, you're going to get an RFE for a new medical exam. Paya, my sponsor meets the income requirements, has a full-time, works gigs for extra money. Extra money's good, but wants to start his own business. She wants to apply for a business grant. Fine. That's fine, but wait until you're in the United States. Wait. Okay, until you're in the United States. Wait until your feet are walking through the airport with your bag, and then she can do that. My opinion. Y05, CBY05. Can you tell me a bit about filing for asylum in Colombia? No problem. You get your fiance on a bus in Caracas, Venezuela, and ship her to Cucuta, Colombia. It's about a 10-hour bus ride. In Cucuta, Colombia, she will have her Venezuelan passport. She will pass through immigration with Colombia at the frontier. Colombia will put a tourist stamp in her passport. That's good for 90 days. Then you need to get her to Bogota or an immigration office in Cucuta, and there she can apply for asylum. Okay? She will then present her Venezuelan passport and her legal entry into Colombia, which is good for 90 days. She applies at the migration office, either in Cucuta. There's one in Cucuta, there's one in Bogota. Depends on where you want her to live. You know, do you want her to? I would recommend that she moves to Bogota, where she's close to the embassy, so that you can, once she gets ready for her visa interview, she's right there. Or Cucuta is close to Venezuela; it's on the frontier, and the weather's much better in Cucuta. First, you got to decide, where do you want to live? Where do you want her to live where in Colombia do you want her to live? That's number one. Figure that out first. Noah Noyasa. What if I don't have the original I-129F? It's okay. Don't worry about it. It's no big deal. AK-47. Hotshot. Do all Spanish documents need to be translated into English for the interview in Colombia? Yo entiendo tu pregunta, no problema. También documentos de inglés y español. Sí, es necesario. It's necessary to translate the police certificate into English. Your beneficiary's birth certificate and her children has to be in English. If your beneficiary cannot write or read in English, she needs to write her second letter of intent to get married in Spanish, and it has to be translated into English. The Spanish group will do it dirt cheap and quick. Sí, AK-47, es necesario traducir tus documentos into español, into inglés. Muy importante para inmigración. Paya. Yes, I'm listening. Well, we're glad. That's why we got the channel together for you guys, right? CBY05. God bless you, Diego, for this help. No problem. I'm going to help you, CBY05, get your beneficiary out of communist Venezuela to freedom into Colombia, and then from freedom in Colombia to the United States. I'm going to help you. Just stick around, just stay with the channel. I'm live 3 times a week, right? I'm 3 times a week. Or you can send me a message in Yahoo Messenger. I will help personally because you have a Venezuelan beneficiary, and I want to help her. Andrew Bryan, say on my interview, Diego, if the interviewer asks me where I plan to get married, and I say at the courthouse, do I have to get some proof from the courthouse to show? Well, it's easy to do, Andrew. You email the courthouse and you say, hey, dear Mr. Courthouse, I want to get married at the courthouse in this county, in this state. What are the requirements? What is the paperwork? Now, you know what the paperwork is. You know what the requirements are, but you're going to email them and you're going to play stupid and ask them, what are the requirements? What is the paperwork? The courthouse will then reply back to you and say, this is the paperwork, this is the requirements, this is what you got to do. And then you're going to reply back, thank you very much. Then you're going to print those emails and you're going to bring them to the visa interview, and you're going to have an email trail of communication with the courthouse, which are counted as wedding plans. Boom. Andrew, you got it? So if you get asked the question, what are your wedding plans? Well, they're at the courthouse. Here's my emails to the courthouse. Here's where I'm asking on how to do it. DP, hey Diego, can people with an ESTA visa get married in the US and then return home and file CR1? You can do that, sure. But for what? Why do that? Why not just the CR1 visa is a nightmare. I went through the CR1 visa. Okay, it's a nightmare. My recommendation is to file the K1 visa. It's so much easier. It's so much easier to do the K1 visa, my opinion. But yes, a person can come to the USA on an ESTA visa, on an ESTA visa, then get married, but they got to go back home. And then you got to go through the CR1 spousal visa, which is a total nightmare. Just file the K1. Just do the K1. Paya, what platform do you use to find good tickets for a flight? Expedia.com is good. I use Expedia. Tina, is it true, Diego, that before the beneficiary goes in for the interview, the consul will be going over the DS-160 and the 129F? That is exactly right, Tina. So let's suppose you're going in for the interview. Let's suppose Karina is going in for her visa interview in Bogota, Colombia. And the lady is behind the window, the glass window, and she's doing stuff on a computer. Do you know what she's doing? She's looking at her 160. She already looked at, or he or she has already looked at the I-129F. Then they're looking at the DS-160. The DS-160 is the yes or no for the visa. So don't mess up the DS-160. When you fill out the DS-160, go slowly, take it slow, be patient. Do not be in a rush. Fill it out carefully. Don't put a yes when it should be a no. Don't put a no when it should be a yes. Okay? The immigration officer is going to be looking at the DS-160 when you probably show up at the visa interview. And at the visa interview, the immigration officer is going to say, okay, I want the final divorce decrees. I need your birth certificates. I need your passports. I need to see photos of you guys together, things like that. Paya Paya, India. Any tips? Expedia. Expedia.com is who I use. Thomas Farrell. NVC has definitely slowed down. They have. Approved visa on May 19th. We do have a case number, but haven't been sent to the Manila yet. Now, it's probably sitting on a shelf right now at the NVC because Manila could be busy. But when it gets to Manila, you're going to be processing that visa real quick. Real quick. Okay, guys, I have been chatting for 1 hour and 25 minutes. I got some Mountain Dew in the fridge. Thanks to you guys with the super chats. I keep my fridge full of Mountain Dew. Pete B, thank you. And I'm going to go and log off. I'll answer JD's question. Kindly clear me about the S160 as I have to schedule my interview after 15th or 20th of September. So I'm good with submit, new, or able to redo with same number. I have to pay fees again. Yeah, you have to pay the fees again if you have to resubmit the DS160. If you have to redo it, you have to pay the fees over. Yeah. So print the DS160, get the confirmation page, and you can use that for your interview. Kaiser X, thank you, Diego. Oliver Agamang. Hi, Diego. My fiance lives in Puerto Rico. Very good. Beautiful Puerto Rico. Her tax returns in 1040s are in Spanish. Do I need them translated into English? Yes, they have to be translated into English. Hold on a second, guys. We have a loose cannon. There we go. I just had to help the loose cannon get removed from the channel. Yeah, you have to translate the 1040s into English, okay? If they're in Spanish, that ain't going to be any help to the immigration officer who got to put them into English. The Spanish will translate them for you. Benny Yao, thanks, Diego. No problem, Benny Yao. We will see you guys on, what's today, Wednesday? Saturday at 7 p.m. I'll be back. I'll be back at 7 p.m. Central Time on Saturday. Thanks for joining us today. Hope you had fun. Hope you learned something. And to my friend whose beneficiary lives in Venezuela, I'm going to help you. I'm going to help you.